fishes, Courtney Mermaid here, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very special video for you. This is not the kind of content that I typically post on this channel, but it is very important that we discuss it. Something was brought to my attention that came up, I believe it was July 2nd, and before I get into it, I will let you guys know that all of the links and all of the information, everything you need to be aware of, is all in the description box down below. So if you're looking for links to the article I'm going to reference or to the Twitter account I'm going to reference, everything will be down there for you guys to check out. The title of this article is Dad Warns About Mermaid Tail Swimsuits After Daughter Nearly Drowns. So the article appeared on today.com and was written by Carrie Breen. And in the article, a man named Adam Leisberg, it could also be pronounced Leisberg, I apologize Adam if I said your name wrong, talks about his experience where one of his daughters almost drowned in a mermaid tail. But to sum up, basically what happened, Adam's two daughters, Annabelle who was 5 and Ruby who was 7, were swimming in a small kiddie pool while wearing mermaid tails. He remarked how his daughters were always fascinated by mermaids and really loved them, and he was really excited when he thought like, okay, you know what, we've got these mermaid tails and this is going to be a fun pool activity for the girls. I guess he figured that the pool was only 2 feet deep. What could really go wrong? Now, before I dive in with all of my opinions on this, I do have quite a few opinions on this. There are other details that we're going to get into. I do just want to say, Adam, from the bottom of my heart, I am so grateful that your little girls are both okay and that this didn't end in a very tragic way. I am going to be giving my opinions on the situation as a professional tail maker and professional mermaid, both here on YouTube and out in the world. So before I dive into my opinion, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of information, who I am, why I have an opinion on this. So my name is Courtney. I am a mermaid content creator from Vancouver, Canada. I have been making mermaid tails and swimming in mermaid tails since 2006. I make my tails myself. I'm also a professional tail maker. I have an online shop. I'm also a certified freediver. I also run a mermaid mentorship program where I help women from all over the world live their lives so mermaid. And as such, you can imagine that I care a great deal about what happens in and around our community and to people who do try to use mermaid tails outside of the community as well. The more important things to note about this case is that the little girls were temporarily unsupervised. Adam's 5-year-old son Ben had decided that he wanted to try making guacamole, and so of course Adam wanted to supervise that situation, and figuring that the pool is only 2 feet deep, that the little girls would be fine. So it wasn't until he heard the little girls making crying noises that he then went and checked on the situation. Leisberg said that Ruby was lying on her side with her arms inside the mermaid tail. She wasn't breathing, but she began to respond after Leisberg performed rudimentary CPR on her. Paramedics and the police arrived quickly and took Annabelle to the hospital where she stayed for 2 days. So the reason I wanted to read that is because she was found with her arms inside of her mermaid tail. According to the article, she was trying to play a game called Potato. I'm not sure how that game is played, but apparently Potato. So she had her arms all the way down inside of the tail, and this tail actually was now up to her shoulders. I'm going to give you guys some more detail on this in a second, how mermaid tails work. We're going to go in depth, you guys. So what bothers me is the last paragraph. There's actually a lot more than that that bothers me, but we're going to dive in one piece at a time. I'm hoping that the parents who see this are scared. I want people to know that these mermaid tail swimsuits can kill. They're adorable, they're cute, kids want them. Our kids had one like that for years and everything was fine, but I never expected she'd pull it up over her arms. Anyone who has a mermaid tail swimsuit should never get near water. So now that we've had a chance to break down the article, I'm going to go through with you guys and talk to you a bit about what mermaid tails are. If you're new to this, you're hearing this for the first time, it can be a little bit of a stunner up front. This is my mermaid tail, my personal tail here. It has a fin construction. These are called monofins. Some people also use flippers in the construction of this, but the idea is that it is contained within a casing referred to as a tail skin. The tail skin very often is made to your measurements, or you can buy them online in generic sizes. It really depends. I myself am a tail maker and I make all of my tails custom to the measurements of the people who order them from me. My tail is also embellished with sequins. It features a pretty standard waistband. It has an open fluke at the bottom. This is for ample drainage and easy access to my monofin. The monofin itself has 2 heel straps in which my feet fit. I have a lot of other monofin related content on my channel. I'll be sure to leave a playlist down below if you're interested. But basically, that's how this works. My feet slip in here, and this entire piece goes all the way up to my waist. Now, it is really important to note that there are a lot of mermaid tails out there on the market. There are a lot, okay? There are some companies that are very reputable and there are some companies that are not. Unfortunately, it is very common within our community for larger scale tail makers to have their work ripped off, sold for cheap on places like Wish. These tails are not made in a safe way. They are not providing detailed instruction on how to handle one of these tails, what the prerequisites prerequisites are for swimming in one of these tails. So I've got a couple of other videos on mermaid safety, specifically whether or not mermaid tails are actually safe. I'm going to leave those in the description box down below for you as well. If you are interested in more information from a mermaid's perspective, I would be very happy for you to check those out. So now that I've mentioned that knockoff mermaid tails exist, we do refer to them as knockoffs within the community. I am not trying to downgrade anything. If you did not know that the tail you purchased was a knockoff, this is not meant to make you feel bad in any way. It is just meant to educate. So the tail seen in the photo that the little girl is wearing is in fact a knockoff tail. We confirmed that amongst the group of us that had first read the article. We saw this was not a mermaid tail that was available through any reputable source. So I just want to start off with that. I have no idea what kind of monofin she was actually using within this tail, if her feet were in fact in any kind of monofin or if this was literally just a fabric skin. So I have here a monofin that I'd like to show you guys. It is called the FinFun Amp. Now, FinFun does make more than one style of monofin. There are a lot of safety features, and I do have to also add, when you buy a mermaid tail from a reputable company, they provide you with the instructions. FinFun is so good at this. If you actually visit them on their social media or on their website, they even provide detailed safety instructions on how to use your mermaid tail safely, how to get in and out of it. I need a sip of water because we're about to get really deep here. I don't want to get angry, but now, this is a very important thing to talk about, you guys. If you are a parent and you're watching this and you're thinking of getting your child a mermaid tail, your child needs to have proven to you on more than one occasion that they are responsible around the water. They need to be a good swimmer. They need to know the rules about using your mermaid tail. You do not hop in your mermaid tail. You do not put your arms all the way into your mermaid tail so that you cannot get them out. You never swim alone. Ever. Do you ever swim alone? I'm gonna get passionate about this. Adam, if you're watching this, please know, I know you know that you goofed. It happens to the best of us, okay? But this is something that I also want to help you drive home. This is not the kind of activity that you buy your kid a mermaid tail and you leave them out in a pool. I've been doing this for 14 years without incident. I always swim with a buddy. I always do. You have got to be safe first. The other thing we need to talk about, because mermaiding has become a lot more popular over the years, and the trend is on the incline, okay? As these things become more popular, it is going to be really important to normalize it and to say, okay, if you'd like to get a mermaid tail, here's what you need to show me. You need to prove to me that you can do these things. You need to be safe around the water. You can swim proficiently without a monofin. Then you can swim with a monofin, and then you can swim with a mermaid tail. When you get a tail for your child for the first time, you do need to go through the steps with them. This is how you put it on. And if you don't know how to do these things yourself, you need to seek out the information, and the information is everywhere. If you're looking for your child's first tail, I'm going to highly recommend the FinFun company. Those guys put such an emphasis on safety, and their products are designed for children. Their products are designed to be used in a safe way, in a way that you will know what's going on. You'll be able to communicate to your child how to use their product. It is so, so important, you guys. This is not a laughing matter. And what really broke my heart was when I was doing further research for this video. I went onto YouTube and I did the unthinkable. I searched mermaid drowning. Learned what really upset me was the number of videos I saw of people joking about it. Guys, this isn't something to joke about. I'm sorry that I'm angry, but I'm angry. I am angry that when I see a post on a website like this, people saying what kind of a stupid hobby this is and how dangerous this is. Horseback riding is dangerous. Golfing can be dangerous. Scuba diving, that's dangerous. Snowboarding, skating, hockey, rollerblading, roller skating, skateboarding, walking across the street during heavy traffic is dangerous. But this needs to be the equivalent of looking both ways before you cross the street. Proper etiquette. I've got a lot of other videos on my channel that talk about this. I do just want to emphasize one more time, I know that people make mistakes. Adam, I don't blame you. This is an article that came out. It does impact us as a whole. We are a community of people out here who do this. We are also an industry. Now, not just me, I'm not the only person out here doing this. If you actually do a little more research, you'll see there's a lot of us that do this. And it does impact us. And when the proper information is not made available, this is what happens. We get kicked out of pools, or we get kicked out of wherever, which means that we have to find other places to go. I hear about people who are like, oh, I got kicked out of my pool, so I went and swam in a lake. You really mean to tell me It's safer to go swim where you're not supervised by any lifeguards than it is to swim in a pool. So before you tell me that, well, you just shouldn't be a mermaid, because I'm expecting a few haters with this video. I expect you to be there in my comments just poo-pooing all over me for having a hobby or having this is my profession. This is my day job. This is what I do. So before you dive all over my comment section, just know that mermaiding is actually something real, and it is actually a profession, it is a sport, it is a hobby, and it means something to a lot of people. And whether or not you understand it isn't the point. It's there, and we're gonna have to learn to get along. And the best way that we can do that is through education. I didn't want to have to make a video, but people watch my channel and they look to me for this kind of thing, and people send me these articles and say, Courtney, like, oh my God, what do you think of this? I have to say something, I have to do something. I can't just let it go. I care about my mermaids too much for that. So the moral of the story, if I can leave you with some food for thought, have you had a conversation with your child about safety in a mermaid tail? Have you taken the time to go over the safety features of your child's mermaid tail with them? Did you buy your tail from a reputable company? Have you looked up the safety instructions for a mermaid tail? And we just want you all to be safe and to have a good time and to live your life so mermaid. So on that note, I'm going to be leaving you guys with a bunch of resources down in the description box down below. I highly suggest that you click that little arrow so it drops down and you can see what's in there. I'm going to leave you links to FinFund's website so you can get their safety information, as well as they have a couple of videos out that are going to be worth checking out. I will leave some of my own personal resources down there as well. And I just hope that what we can take away from this is safety first. Safety above all else. It doesn't matter how mermaid you think you are, you need to put safety first 100% of the time, for the good of the community, for the good of yourself, for the good of everybody, okay? So on that note, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I would love to hear your thoughts on the situation down below. Let's try and be civil in my comment section. I would appreciate it. This is just me giving my 2 cents. I meant no offense to anybody. As a professional, I did have to speak up. So all that being said, thank you again for watching. I look forward to chatting with you all again soon. Happy swimming! Bye!